Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to introduce Astrid Schmitt-Stegmann. She is a long-time experienced Waldorf teacher, teaching Waldorf schools for over 30 years. She's also a coordinator of the Waldorf Teacher Education Program at Waldorf Steiner College. And she's been working with our school for a couple of, this is the second year that Astrid's been working with our school, doing teacher evaluations and some mentoring with other teachers, and it's been a real great pleasure to have her to work with the faculty and be part of our school. So I'd like to welcome Astrid Schmitt-Stegmann. Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure for me to come up and see this lovely school and to be in the classrooms and really get an idea of what is going on, and it's just been really a joy to see. I've been pretty much now in every classroom because as we just heard, I've been here for a couple of years now, and it's just been delightful. Such a good faculty. I can only congratulate you to such a fine school. So I've been enjoying really coming up and being with the children. How many of you have children in first grade? 1, 2, 3, 4. Second grade. Third grade. Oh yeah. Fourth grade. All right.
College.
College. All right.
Read.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'll
She
be
was here in
speaking
her-
about college.
She was here in her formative years with Mr. Martinez.
Yeah. So this morning then we'll focus really on grades, from let's say kindergarten, early childhood on, grades to fourth grade. Betty Staley was here speaking about the older child, so I took on speaking about the younger child. And dear friends, Waldorf Education addresses the child. The child is at the center of everything. All the considerations are about the child. That's the beauty, one thing that is so beautiful about this education is the focus on the child, the needs of the child, how do we support the child, how do we develop capacities, not just give information. That would not be Waldorf education. Yes, it is looking at the whole child and what does the child need at this time, let's say kindergarten age, what is different than in second grade, different in fourth grade. How does the class teacher and the other specialty teachers, how do they change to address these developmental steps in the children? So it is also for the teacher an exciting education because you ask yourself what is appropriate when and how do I bring it? So much is in how the teacher can bring the material. You can bring basically any material to any age, but you would need to know how to do it. Do you see? Yeah? You could, if you wanted to, I have no idea why you would want to, but you could speak about Plato in the first grade. If you would start, once upon a time, there lived a very wise teacher, right? Yes? So if you would bring it in a way that a first grader could find access to it, yes, then you can bring many different things. But the key in Waldorf education is really to touch the child inwardly, to find out where is the child. What is important at a certain age? What do we as adults have to be aware of? Yes, so if you look at the kindergarten age, we all know that what is of, I would say, ultimate importance is the health of the physical body, right? Yeah, that we care through sleep, through rhythm, through good nourishment, all the various things that we build up a healthy body, yes? And then when the children come into grades, something different is happening. The 7-year change is there. And the beauty of Steiner is that he is so clear about child development, gives us such enormous insight into where the child is and what the needs are. Tremendous help for the teachers to know how to communicate in the right way so that learning is something that the child takes up with joy. We all want to be lifelong learners. I mean, that is human, that we learn, that we want to know something new. When we stop finding something new in life, then something is wrong, let's put it that way, for adults. We should be excited about finding new things, about learning new things, to be open to the world and not, just narrow-mindedly going our path. We know all that. Human is to be free and open and take new things in, change, develop. And that is, of course, what we want to make possible for the child, this individual learning, that we can support the individual and that we teach the whole child. You've all heard that, right? What do we usually say about Waldorf education? It teaches what? Addresses the head, the heart, and the hand, right? Yeah. So the head, not only the head. We have access to so much information. We just have to click and there is all the information we need. But information is not thinking. And what we want to work with in Waldorf education is how do we develop independent thinking. That the children, when they grow up, become older, really ask questions, not just take things that they hear as facts and that's how it is and it's done, but that you approach life as someone who questions, who wants to know why. And this is something we begin from early on. So instead of saying head, heart, and hand, you can also say we want to develop their thinking, their feeling and emotional life, and their will to do something in the world. Because you can have the most fantastic ideas and ideals, if you can't get it down into the will to actually do something about it, then it might be beautiful to sit there and have those thoughts, yes, but it doesn't really change anything in the world. Do you see what I mean? Yes? So this getting it into the hand is really important, that this path is actually taking place. And we want to make sure that that does take place. So Steiner, of course, speaks of something else. He speaks of the physical body, he speaks of the soul, he speaks of the independent spirit of each individual. We can say the doing, the feeling, emotional life, and the thinking. Whichever way we put it, there is that threefoldness that we have to consider when we look at human beings. And so also we do that when we have the children before us. Yeah? How you feel about things in life is so essential because it makes you do things. So Waldorf education addresses itself to the feeling because it warms up the thinking, reverence for life, for instance, that this is part of thinking. You can have thinking that manipulates, that abuses, right? That makes use in a selfish way of everything around, or you can change thinking, yeah, that there is reverence for life. And I mentioned to some of you how beautiful it was to come up here this morning. You really feel that you're touched in your feeling emotional life when the sun shines on these beautiful colored trees and so on. Yeah, that this is a part of what we engage, is our feelings, our emotions, our sensations. We respond to life in that way. Yeah. Also, yeah, that we have good relationships. That is part of mental health. And when you see, therefore, that we have a class teacher in the Waldorf school to really learn how to have long-term, healthy relationships, yes, that is part of it. It's very, very good for the children, yeah? That is there, that they can feel every day. When I come to school, my teacher is waiting for me. What a beautiful feeling. I matter is absolutely necessary. So this part of the relationship, Steiner speaks of the child has to experience early on that the world is good. Oh boy, yes. That's a challenge sometimes. But what is behind it really? That the child can trust. Key for physical and mental health. That the child can trust the adults. Yeah, that is so immensely important. Yeah? And then from 7 to 14, Steiner speaks of bring it across that the world is beautiful. Yeah, that they find a relation to the world. That there is a breathing between self and the other, self and the world, self and what is happening, the situations, and so forth. And that, yeah, we do very much by integrating the arts into everything we do. That touches the heart. That touches the feeling life. Yeah? There is a good, healthy breathing. So the arts that are integrated in everything are key for the world is beautiful. Yes? Yeah, the colors. When the children draw, look at the various ways. Yes? It's integrated. And those of you who have fourth graders, you already are familiar with all these ways of integrating. Yeah, the artistic, also in the writing. Yeah, this is here from the school, from the first grade. Yeah, with the colors and putting, yeah, sort of a lovely frame around it so that the page looks good. All this develops capacities for beauty. How can we do something that is beautiful? All of us can, yes? But children discover through this how to work in a beautiful way, engaging the feeling. Here it stands. And it begins in first grade, doesn't it? That we introduce the letters in a different way, from the whole to the parts. That the children first get the whole story so that they can live in it. And then it comes down to a drawing from the story. And then when you're introducing the letters, so at the very, very beginning, it comes to the word and the letter. If you have a story about the queen that always carries her umbrella with her, because it's always QU, right? So then you go to queen, and then you go to QU, that they know it belongs together. So it's a path till you come to the letter, right? Yes? Yeah, very beautiful, from the whole to the parts. The children always know what's going on. Yeah, some of you might have had the same experience that I had, going to university even. It took me to the time of the MA to really see how things fitted together. Everything was in parts. This had nothing to do with that, and so forth, until one could really see the connection between everything. It was a long time. But it is so healthy, it is so delightful inwardly when you know the connections, when it makes sense, all of it, to you. And so we're trying to make sure that even the young child has this understanding of the whole and always lives in the whole. Yeah? So when we want to develop thinking, well, yeah, we can say, all right, first 7 years, 0 to 7, we focus on the doing, then 7 to 14 on the feeling, on the emotions, sensations, and then finally on the thinking, 7 to 14. Yeah, but in order that you have independent thinkers at that time, yeah, 7th, 8th, it comes out, it blossoms forth, and then in high school, you have to start really way down. So in kindergarten, it is free play, for instance. Yeah, you wouldn't think, this connects with thinking? Yes, the imagination, yeah? The creativity in thinking comes to expression in their play, doesn't it? Yeah? Free play, unstructured play, beautiful, because their imagination builds new worlds. Yeah? They build a new world for themselves. So exciting. The creativity is so strong in the young child. It's a shame to kill it off. We want to keep it alive. This is also why all the artistic activities come in, to keep the imagination alive. You know how attractive it is when you have adults who have great ideas, right? Everyone loves it, full of ideas, and you like it yourself because you always know what to do. You have ideas, life is rich, and so forth. You don't have any ideas, it can be really poor, yes? So this quality from early childhood on, we want to keep working with it. We want to keep developing it. How in first grade? I want to give you an example of math, Because why are we doing so much math? Math develops thinking. Math is the subject that especially develops independent thinking. So mental arithmetic that comes or is built up, I would say, from first grade on, is essential in developing independent thinking that comes out then maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, very much 8th grade. Yeah? You see it in the classroom. And that's the joy for the teacher of that age. How they begin to think things through. How they want to learn to trust their own thinking. Very exciting at that time. There are aspects you might not like so much at that time, but these are wonderful, wonderful new capacities that blossom forth. First grade, you might do this. Do it with me. I'm your teacher. You're first graders now, all right? Ready? Where are your birdies, everyone? Oh, there they are. Very good. 10 birdies are sitting and happily twitting. 6 fly away. How many do stay? How many stay? 4. Does everyone have 4? Very good. 10 birdies are sitting and happily twitting. 7 fly away. How many do stay? Good. How many stay? 3. So it begins, yeah, with a little verse, if you can make one up as teacher. Yeah? So I made these little verses up. You're constantly being a creator of verses when you're a class teacher or any other teacher, yes. So this, yeah, you see how they would love to enter in. And from there, if you put the 10 birdies now here on your table, 10 birdies are sitting and happily twitting. 6 fly away. How many do stay? 4. Yes, yes. But now the next step. How many flew away? Do you see? You don't see that now. They're underneath the table. Yeah? And of course you see the little ones. 6! They're counting anyway. But there is now an aspect from seeing the whole thing and knowing the total answer to part of it that is hidden. And then 4 birdies are sitting. 3 come back and sit on the track. How many do we have now? Do you see, it gets more complicated. Yeah? How many do we have now? How many?
7.
7. How many are still away? 3. Do you see how you can begin to move now? To get them more flexible. Some birdies come back. Some are still hidden. How many are hidden? How many come back? How many do we have now? It is a lovely way to begin mental arithmetic. Yeah? This is just a beginning. They still need their hands and so forth. But Steiner made the recommendation that as soon as possible we move away from manipulatives and let it be a pure mental activity. Yeah, he calls math a spiritual activity because you don't see it, it's invisible. Yes? Yeah? But you see then the path. I just wanted to show you how you begin and how you have to kind of make learning a joy at every age. And then when you look, let me put this over, can you see it all? To the 2nd grade here, yeah, that you begin to draw. This here is the 3 table. Do you see it? And they're so surprised when they see what happens when you first do the circle and then space it from 0 all the way around to 9, and then you begin and you just draw 3, 6, 9, 12, do you see? 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. The 3 table makes this beautiful design. It's exciting for them to see math in this artistic way. It really draws their interest to it. And then, of course, we have a lot of movement the way we introduce math. As you, I think, all know, the clapping, the stamping, the moving around the classroom, to experience that math is movement, yes, is essential. So all this work in the beginning, here too, 3, 6, 9, and then 12, yes, that you can make these exciting designs, helps them to learn the times tables. Yeah? Do you see? And we go on, we can write them this way. I mean, there's so many ways that you can work with to keep the children excited about the learning. That is really, I would say, the beauty of Waldorf education. That also music comes in them and you're counting there. And all kinds of other things that are part of it. And I wanted to also point out to you something else, but oh, maybe I can draw it over there. We have no blackboard left. We did the little birdies. Now, when we begin to write, if I put 10 plus 10, how many answers do I get? 1. What is the right answer here? 20. Good. Okay. 1 answer only. What if you start with 20? What could that be?
A multitude.
Give a suggestion.
10 plus 10.
Okay, it can be 10 plus 10. Is that the only answer?
No.
No. What else can it be?
18 plus 2.
10 or 12 plus?
18. I
Well,
said
whatever.
18 plus 2.
Plus 8, yes. Some. Write 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. You know, you have a whole line across. But you see here, 20 can be 15 plus 5, and so on, and so on. What happens here? Can you see it? Yeah. If you begin with a 20, then every child in the classroom can have the right answer. Do you see? Yes? Because there's so many possibilities. What do you think that teaches the child for life?
To look at different possibilities.
Yeah, diversity, yeah?
To look at different possibilities.
Yes, 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 yes. There are many answers in any situation. Yeah? There is not just one answer. So there are considerations that the teacher takes, in how to give all children the experience. I can trust my own thinking. I can come by myself to the right answer, and it can be different from your answer, different from your answer, different from your answer. Yes? This gives trust in the own ability and comes out later in the courage to speak your own mind, even if it is different from what you've just heard others say. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? So what I'm trying to show you is how much has to be there in the beginning, how much the teacher has to think about to lay a foundation so that later capacities can develop. Yeah, that was key for Steiner. We're not just teaching subjects, we're developing capacities in the children. Yeah, and that is exciting, of course, for teachers, right? Yeah? Any questions to that, what I brought here at this point?
How would you introduce the concept of working from the 20 outward, rather than, you gave the example of 10 plus 10 is 20, and then you were saying we look at it from the other, approach it from the different.
How would I do that?
How would you introduce?
Yeah, there it would be good, you work with manipulatives, little shells or little stones in first grade, things like that, little beads, whatever you have, chestnuts, if they are around, and they have 20 on their table, yes? Yeah? And then, when you put that on the blackboard, 20 is, you find out. Now they start moving the 20 around. Oh, it's this and this, or 3 piles. Yeah, you can say you may make as many piles as you wish. So this whole element of freedom in there, and not the fixed 10 plus 10 is what, but this freer approach. Good? Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Good, good, good. Alrighty, yes. Yeah, and dear parents, the other thing, and you have all the opportunity in the world here, you live in such a good environment, just to really be clear that children need to be strongly rooted in reality, before they enter virtual reality. You know what I mean? Let the young child, and as long as possible, let the children experience nature. Let them experience the colors. Let them be on a walk. You all know how that is nourishing to us when we're out in nature. And for the young child even more. The life forces of the young child are directly connected, much more strongly than ours, with the environment. And this healing element that comes from nature, being connected with nature, we are often losing that now. We're so much in virtual reality that we lose reality, but losing reality can also mean losing mental health. You have to be grounded in reality, and we have to see to that our children really have a chance to experience us in human relationships. I remember, just to tell you something personal, when I think back, I grew up in Germany and we had ovens in our house where you had to light a fire every morning. You had to make a fire to have heat all day. You would use wood, coal, things like that. Yes? I was fascinated as a little child to watch my father, yeah, how he took paper and put that in first, and then little pieces of wood on top of that, larger pieces of wood, and then how he would light it, and how would the fire come up, and the sound of it. I always wanted to get up early in the morning because it was so exciting to see every step that he did to then bring about the fire and how warm it got gradually. It was so exciting, and I remember as a child being disappointed when oil heating came. All the things were ripped out, oil heating came, and all he had to do was open, yeah, so the oil would flow, and I couldn't see anymore the process of how things developed. Yeah, do you see? The process is so fascinating. What human beings do is so fascinating to children, especially mother, father. Yeah, we're coming towards December, baking, all the things you do when you bake, how you add it. Now you have to stir. I know it's hard, but we have to do it really well. These kind of experiences, yeah, are healing and healthy for our children. They must have as many of these experiences as possible to see you doing things. You have the picture of this, you doing things, or you sitting at the computer. Yeah? What is the difference? Yes? Yeah? We have to become really conscious in our time now. How many hours do I want to spend at the computer, or have to, if that is my work? What do I do then to balance my own life? Yeah? What are my needs to harmonize myself again? More and more we will have to face these questions as technology is taking more and more of our life, really, yeah, that we individually have to make the decisions. What is healthy for us at home? What are the needs that I also have to bring in? Yeah. More and more, I think that will be the thing we have to do. All right? Yeah? Okay. Yes. So I only want to go a little bit further and leave some time. Yeah, we're getting on to 45 minutes. Thank you for listening so well. Yes. I know that's not easy either, to listen for a long time.
No, it's really easy to listen to you.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's really easy to listen to you.
Oh,
It's so
well, that's
enjoyable.
good. That's
Yes,
good.
and inspiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Must be the teacher in me. Yeah. So when you just point a few things out, in second grade, the capacities grow. Yeah, the child just blossoms forth. It is really tremendous. And you see that, for instance, in the writing, beginning of second grade, yeah, still printing. And it's wonderful if, as teacher, for instance, you immediately, from early on, develop a sense of artistry, yeah? That, okay, I can write something here and I can draw over here. It doesn't always have to be one page writing, one page drawing, one page writing, yeah? Do you see? You can vary. And that means you're developing the children so that in 4th grade already you hear, can I add something to the drawing? I'd like to do it differently. And you want to encourage that. There, usually in 4th grade, the individuality comes out. I now feel good enough to add things. Of course, you might say, no more than 4 birdies in there, yes? Because they can then draw the whole sky full of birds or the whole grass full of flowers. So you have to see and give help. But to begin to give them a sense of the artistic, all the various things you can do. So in the beginning of 2nd grade, still the printing. And then, look, 4 lines. You see how large the writing still is here. Yeah? Cursive writing coming in. That's a ways into 2nd grade because it takes time to develop the capacity to write in cursive. Yeah? But here then, look here, already smaller. 5 lines. And then finally, at the end of 2nd grade, they can write pretty much in normal writing. Incredible that they can learn to do that at such a young age. And beautifully, really beautifully. And there again, from the beginning, the teacher has to see that it's very quiet when we're working. Dear class, now the hands are working. Mouth is quiet. Yeah. This very clear thing that we focus on what we're doing. This is again, developing capacities that you can focus, that you can listen. It's not easy to listen. You have to put an effort into it from the beginning to give them guidance on how to listen well, how to be present, how to be engaged. These are all things children have to learn. But when you can do that as teacher and really engage them, they will be and they will look for being engaged in life. They want to feel engaged. They want to feel to participate, not just hands in pocket observing, oh yeah, you do it, oh yeah, that's nice or something, but to get engaged. And I think we will need that in the future, that these children can become strong and courageous, have both feet on the ground, and really engage in what they later think is right, is good, is healthy. Yeah? That's what we all want. That's what I wanted as a mother. Yes. And this is what we are setting out to do. So this enormous ability here, also to draw. Here, they can draw animals already pretty well. And also here, from this school, look, the beautiful writing. I was so happy to see that, yeah. Still printing, but really nice. Really, the child really made an effort. And it's all about making the effort in life, yeah. It's that you want to make a difference, that you want to do things well. This is what we want to foster. That it matters to you how things look that you do. That it matters to you how you approach others. in and with the heart forces, in the feeling that it matters to you what effect your emotions have on others. What you're doing, more and more, they have to realize that too. Yeah? What I do in the classroom affects the others. The little ones are totally oblivious to that. It's their world and they're engaged in it. But to gradually come to the point where you can think about others, that takes a while. But first you look at what you do, and then in how your feelings act, and then how your thoughts affect others. Yeah, kind thoughts. What do they do? It's a question for us too. Do they really work? Yes, they do. Yes. Yeah. If you've ever been really ill, and others are saying, I will send you good thoughts, you feel that. You feel that the warmth of other human beings are really holding you, that these thoughts are with you. And in that way, even much stronger than we feel it, the child feels. Are the parents spending time with me? Are the parents really focusing on me? Or is there always something at the side, yeah, that I am more interested in than in the child? These kind of things, they have to come to our consciousness. Yeah, that we can really give the child what the child needs, so that all children can grow up healthy and strong. We can make the difference. We as adults, we can be so sure of that. Our thoughts, our warm feelings, our heart forces, our attention on the children, no matter what age. Yeah, when my children grew up, I thought, oh, well, when they're 18, I don't have to worry about them anymore. Oh, wrong, yeah. I found that out when they got to that age. They're calling, Mom, right? What do I do now? And all that. So you're really always there, always the support. And when it is there from the beginning, you don't lose your relationship with your children. Yeah, this is a powerful thing, that the children, as they grow up, keep trusting you, that they know you have the best in mind for them, that it is selfless and so forth. Yeah? So we can do so very much. But it all begins with giving them self-confidence in all that they do. Yes? So you never compare one child to another. You compare, what did you do yesterday? And look at today. Oh, how beautiful your pages are today. Do you see? So this way, how you work to give human beings, developing human beings, confidence in life. This is what we care most about here at the school. Our considerations go always to the child, to be there, to support each one of them, and to develop their individual capacities. What a joy it is for a class teacher to have them, I had that twice, to 8th grade, and to see the unfolding of the individuality, the biography of the individual. Fascinating. And in Sacramento, in the Waldorf school where I was, one of the boys in 7th, 8th grade, "Oh, Mrs. Schmitt," he said, "I've got to draw this airplane motor on the blackboard. Look how that works." And he drew it on the blackboard. He was happy if I stood there. He explained everything to me. I love airplanes. And you know what he turned out to be? A pilot. He's a pilot now. Yeah. So to see what comes out and how they begin to manifest what they will be later on is enormously exciting. And I always felt, we're in the 8th grade right now, that in 7th and 8th grade, the students had more serious questions about life than adults. Deep questions. Why are we here? What is life for? What is my task? What am I supposed to be doing? Yeah. So really deep questions, and to be there at that age still, to support them is key. And they trust because you've been with them all that time. They know, each one knows that you are interested in each one. They know that they can trust you. And that's why I always felt it was essential for me to go from 1st through 8th grade, to just be there at that age when these powerful questions come, that they can voice them, that they feel, they sometimes didn't even realize I was present, or they felt it very differently. In 8th grade, imagine that, twice it happened in my last 8th grade down the hill, that a boy, they were working quietly in their books, all of a sudden I hear, "Mom," and then, "Oh God," the shock of it all, and then trying to bury this kind of thing. But not only once, but even twice it was, yes, and then of course mortified. How do you react as teacher? "Oh, I feel so honored, thank you very much," and so forth. You make them feel at ease, yes? But there you see this relationship of support that can grow through the grades. And you're just there, and you know the development of the child. First, the will and the doing. We know little kids do all the time. Oh my gosh, they can't sit still, basically. Then the feeling, and then the thinking. But how do we prepare all these capacities all the way through? That's what I wanted to show a little bit. Yes? Okay? Thank you very much.
Well, I was just curious to hear, with those big, deep questions at that age.
Yes.
How did you approach that, or was it open discussion?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And this is when there is an environment where they feel at ease, where they feel really, I can say these things. Nobody is going to make fun of me, or this kind of thing. But everyone takes my questions seriously. And to feel that the others who are sitting there engage in it and also ask similar questions and so forth. You have to have some life experience, of course, as you can see, to guide these kind of conversations. But it is food for the soul, so to speak. that they can voice them, that they can begin to feel, who am I? Who am I as a human being? What do I want here? What is important to me? And these kind of questions, these kind of inside. And when they can come out, and you can say, oh, look at all those fantastic capacities that you have. Look back over the grades. What has come out in you? And you can speak about that with every single child, because you were there, you know them. And this also plays very much into that. But to really give them help in their whole approach to life, and to begin really to see what human relationships mean, how much they matter, is essential. Yeah, please.
I would appreciate if you're comfortable sharing a little bit about the introduction of reading and what grade and age that happens.
Reading begins absolutely in first grade, yes? Now, that's in a normal private Waldorf school, because we don't let that come into the early childhood, yes? So it would be in first grade as you introduce, yeah? Immediately when you write the whole word, they also read it immediately. The only difference is that in first grade they read what they write in their own book. Why? Why did Steiner recommend that? Because they had already written it. They're engaged in these words. They're engaged in writing this sentence. Do you see? They have created the sentence. And the last step is the reading of it. Reading is a very intellectual capacity. And so Steiner takes the path from writing to reading. And that really begins absolutely in right when they learn their letters, of course. Yes? Yeah? And you go on then to books. We go to books in second grade. Yeah, I would have to ask, especially here, how you proceed. Yeah, because you have the element of the state also working into, has some say in how this develops. Yeah, but from first grade on, immediately they learn to read. They learn the letters. They point out the letters. You do intensive work with letters, with letter recognition, sound recognition, everything. Yeah. Yeah, phonics, writing, all that. Here's a child's, very beginning child's writing, that you work with a short vowel sound, for instance, yeah? The English language, 68% of it is contained, has short vowel sounds at the base, and so once they know that, they should be able to decipher 68%. So again, you have to familiarize yourself with the English language very carefully and see the process, and it has to be a good, clear process how to get to reading. By third grade, yeah, they can easily read really well.
Sorry. I feel like it has been much slower than that. I don't know what other people's feelings are, but I don't feel like they're reading in first grade.
Well, maybe I
And
will
maybe
be in
third
second
grade.
and third grade, and I can
Yeah,
see.
maybe,
Yeah.
because I know that my fourth grader still struggles. And our challenge now is finding books that are at his reading level,
Yeah.
but meet his interests as a 9 going on 10-year-old. Like his
Yeah.
interests
I
are
can
far
imagine.
more developed than his skills, and that's so frustrating
Yeah,
because he
Yeah.
is bored with Magic Treehouse.
well, of course.
But that is his reading level. He's still
Yeah.
reading at 3rd grade. I don't know if there's a
Yeah.
step that got missed in there, or the dots
Yeah.
weren't well connected enough, but,
I can certainly find out about that.
yeah,
Right,
we're
right?
on to more
I-
messages.
Yeah. So, all I can say is when I taught, I made it clear to the parents that by the time the end of 3rd grade, we will be up absolutely to grade level. Because the beauty is to take time for this process in the beginning, yeah? To gradually get there. And give the children time, because letters, what are letters for a child? They much rather play in the mud and work with letters, right? Yeah, so, Yes.
I have a question, it was really about strengthening the will.
yes,
When you have
good.
a child who's very phlegmatic and you
Yeah.
have to light a fire to get him to do anything,
Mhm.
how, and I think I might have answered it in listening to you, but what are other things you can do to really strengthen that?
Jobs,
That's what I
jobs,
knew you were gonna
jobs.
say that. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah, key to develop, finish a project. Yeah, now you can see why teachers, let's say in handwork and so forth, say no, you cannot begin a new project. You must finish the old one that you started first. That is to strengthen the will. And we also have to make a difference. A lot of children are willful, but that's not having will. Do you see the difference? Do you know the difference? The difference is when you want to do something, you have the will to do it, because you like it. But the moment you are asked to do something, now it's your turn to clean the bathroom.
Right.
Yes, that's a whole different thing to get the will engaged when you don't really like something. It's easy to have will for everything you love to do. Yeah? But can you respond to a need and later in life say, I will do that because no one else has volunteered, but it needs to be done. I don't like it either, but it needs to be done and I'm willing to do it. That's having will. Paying attention in class, that's having will. Finishing the work, starting soon enough that you can finish the work, in the lower grades, whatever is on the blackboard, that you stay with it and so forth, that you can actually guide yourself. That is having will. Yeah? Do you see the difference? Yes?
Yes.
And it's this listening to start with your child, to listen to something, that takes will to stay with it. First a shorter time, then a little longer, yeah. Increase the times also of engagement. Yeah. It's always being a participator, that is will. Participating, engaging, doing, being active. Anything you can do along those lines helps develop the will. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Because repetition strengthens the will, everyone. Teachers watch that carefully, that you do things over and over again. They become habit, they're there. Yeah, good habits, establishing here, later in life, you want to have good habits. Yes? Because you don't like things messy. Yeah? But that has to start here, right? So these kind of things develop a good will. Yeah, okay? Mm-hmm.
So along those lines, at what age or grade would they have the desire to make their homework look beautiful? We just spent, 10 minutes erasing scribbles on
Yeah,
homework.
yeah, yeah.
No way we're gonna turn
Actually,
it
that
into looking
happens
like that.
later. Yeah,
Later
that's,
than fourth grade.
yeah. You see some begin fourth grade as fast as possible. Yeah, you have to make sure that there's no incentive to do it fast in the classroom, yes? Because otherwise that habit comes in. But that you focus on things well done. You have to train yourself as teacher very, very much. And that's why a Waldorf teacher is always considered to be on a path of self-development. You have to work against your own habits if you are one that wants to do things really fast. You have to learn to do them slowly. You have to learn to do them well. You have to learn to do them with consciousness, right? Yeah. So that's that self-development that we're after. Okay? Good. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think the kids seem very India. Yeah. It was a pleasure to get to know you. I'm glad it wasn't 100. At least I've seen your faces. Good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.